Hey everyone, this is Girish Hothur and welcome back to another episode of Studio Diaries. In this series, we explore some of Bangalore's top studios, taking you behind the scenes to see how music and audio comes to life in movies. Things might get a little technical at times, but hey, it's always fun to learn something new. Today we are visiting Chamundeshware Studios, a legendary space with rich history established in 1969. Mr. Shadagopan Rajamani, the administrative director, graciously guided us through the entire Chamundeshware Studio campus, sharing his extensive knowledge with us. He also provided fascinating insights into past projects and the renowned actors who have been part of the studio's legacy. We are grateful for his patience and support in making this studio tour possible. Also, many of you from my last tour wanted to ask these technicians about their journey and the projects they have worked on. So we are diving into their stories too. Whether you're a musician or just love good sound, hit the subscribe button because you're gonna love this one. We'll dive into some technical stuff too, so stick around. Let's get started. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for your time today.
Please come in.
Yes, thank you.
Chamundeshware Studio's history dates back to 1940s when it was functioning as Pakshiraja Studios. In Karnataka, we have placed our foot in 1969. We have purchased the land here which belonged to one Raja of Bobili, and his palace, his erstwhile palace only, was purchased by us, and we did some renovation work on that, and we had more than 3 shooting floors here in which legendary actors like Dr. Rajkumar, Vishnuvardhan, Ambarish, all have rendered their Yaman service here to the Kannada industry, and we were able to take more than 100 pictures of Rajkumar and other actors here. We have a minimum experienced technicians of 15 years or so. The maximum is 35 years.
And what are some of the most famous films that were done here, sir? I'm sure Dr. Rajkumar sir, Ambarish sir, Vishnuvardhan sir were regular here.
Yeah.
So, did you have any experiences with them? So, something that you can share with the audience here?
The very first picture which was shot here starring Dr. Rajkumar and Jayanti was Kula Gaurava, Thai Devaru, Sakshatkara, Subhadra Kalyana. That is our own picture. Raja Nanna Raja.
Kasturi Nivasa also was done.
Kasturi Nivasa. Durai Bhagwan combination. Nearly 16 pictures were done with Rajkumar.
Wow.
All the 16 pictures were done in Chamundeshwari Studios. Then we have got, Bangara the Gudi, Naan Inna Mareyalare, Babru Agana, then Thai Takkamaga. Every picture of Rajkumar and Vishnuvardhan were done here only. So you can see them relaxing here in the portico. 100-year-old portico it is. It was previously Raja's palace. So we didn't alter it, we just retained it as it is.
So we'll walk through all of those places and we can talk a little more about that.
The camera which you are seeing here is a 100-year-old camera. It's a Mitchell. And the people, as you can see the props here, people used to carry it on their shoulders when they go for the outdoor shooting. So a lot of pictures were taken in this camera, and now also it can work. Only thing is films are not.
Films are not. So this has a 100-year-old history.
This has a 100-year-old history.
Must have been a very expensive camera back then.
Yes. Those days it used to cost 1 lakh. And Silent Bose was a very famous cameraman, Bengali cameraman. He only was an expert in handling these cameras. He has worked with Satyajit Ray and all. So he has handled some of our films. And Malaikallan was dubbed in 5 languages, starring MGR. Gattara Kalla. Then in Kannada also it was dubbed, and Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi. They all won President's Award.
Wow. Alright, let's move on, sir.
Now we are entering the digital intermediate color grading section. So here you can see when the picture is shot in the location, it is being converted into the required coloring and ambience at the behest of the cameraman and director.
Okay.
So you can see the comparison. This is what
before and after comparison.
Yeah, this is what is after.
Right.
Play one before. Now this is before. This is shot on the actual location.
Okay.
And now this is the improvised version with coloring graded by us at the desire of the cameraman and director. This machine is imported from UK.
Okay.
And it can detect nearly 1 million colors.
Wow.
and it can work with Barco 12C projector.
Okay.
So this is the improved, latest, advanced version of basslight color grading technology.
Wow.
We have the earlier version of this color grading technology, which is called Da Vinci, which is housed in the next section. This is the basic facility of color grading, which is called Da Vinci, but quality wise there is no compromise between that and this. And nowadays, it's all in PVRs and bigger theaters.
Right.
So definitely in a bigger screen, they would like to see pictures made on basslight.
So basically, for people, for normal audience who don't know what DI is, it is basically like once the shooting is done, there is a lot of coloration, color correction, and some kind of grading that happens on the visuals to give it a stylistic view. Basically, it's coloring the complete film, giving a
frame
mood
by
to it,
frame,
frame
shot
by frame.
by shot.
People know what music is, like composition, mixing studios, and all that. But people are not very much aware of this DI studios.
Now we are entering into a dubbing suite. So this is our dubbing suite.
Right.
And we have got a separate voice room.
Right.
And this is a machine room. Now after recording, you will hear. So here you can notice the hissing noises and unnecessary on-site sounds are all eliminated here. But that doesn't end the matter, because he is talking in a place surrounded by so many buildings or shed or something like that. So the effects will be added to that. The other sounds which are played will be mellowed down, and only his dialogue will take the first place. Please come. So this is the voice room where the artists will render their voice by sitting here and wearing the headphone, and through that headphone via cable the scriptwriter or prompter or director will give them instructions. They will also be able to see their pilot track. We can project it from there. And once we see that, that particular scene number and all that will be explained to the artist. So he will talk. So the lip syncing is done after he is talk. See, like this. Here also we have a lot of bigger setup with.
So there are two dubbing suites. One is
two dubbing suites
there, and this is
yes. And you see, this was how Chamundeshware looked like in 1970. So that was a shooting floor. So these were all some of the trophies, which those days pictures usually cross 100 days and 1 year and all. You won't believe if I tell you. This was our recording theatre, recording studio. That behind this only was the control room, and that recording projector cabin we have retained it for the preview theatre's cabin.
Nice.
So this entire thing was recording. More than 50 musicians who used to sit here in the booths.
Orchestral stuff.
Orchestral, yes.
Okay.
For live, and everything is connected with the cables. Even today, you can find the mic connections left as it is. Even I have decided to do that. I didn't change anything. I retained the entire acoustic, everything, and this I have built it using only wood. No cement. Only wood gallery. This is built. From there, the gradient is 6 feet there. So that it is very smoothly. If you can sit here, the other person's head will not block you. It is in that way it is designed.
So this is also a very calibrated
theatre, and we have got a Christie projector, and as you can see the old mic connectivity things. From here is to be connected with the recording room. Still the cables and all we are not removed. They are all lying under snake cables.
So the ceilings and all were done recently, but
No,
before
no,
that.
no, no. Ceilings are all old ceilings only.
Wow. Okay.
Because with the diffusers and all that they were built. So I used the same sound diffusers. They are all like the pyramid shaped, completely stuffed with glass wool,
Okay.
wood wool, and all that. So
Okay.
every of this thing is very highly. That's plywood.
Okay. So nothing is cement or concrete.
Nothing
here.
is cement or concrete, so the load factor is not there. Wooden flooring with sand filled underneath.
So this is a room within a room, like proper
Yes.
studios.
Yes. This is actually above the mezzanine floor. That mezzanine was the roof of that dubbing, the DI theatre.
Okay.
Now above that mezzanine is this.
This whole place is also was built in 1969 only.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's holding even now, after 50 years.
My God.
This statue of Chamundeshware Ambal is dating back to 40 years. Every picture which was done here in Chamundeshwari, they used to do puja here, and even today the same tradition continues. Everybody who comes here for audio release or a technical show, they first do puja to this Chamundeshwari, and it has got that much vibration, and people love to do puja here and start their ventures from here onward. This is our state-of-the-art graphics and animation and effects section, wherein we make 2D, 3D and other effects in the pictures which are taken by the customers. They sit in the darkness and then only they have to work. Otherwise, even the minutest details may skip. And in pictures what you will see is from which place the camera lighting is happening. They can darken it or brighten it.
Right.
And multiplication of 1 person into 100.
Right.
I mean, like Bahubali and all that is being done here.
Hello, this is Mrs. Rajalakshmi, the Managing Director and the Chairman of Chamundeshware Studio and Lab Private Limited. The studio was established in 1969 and I have occupied this seat since 2006, and I am very happy to be associated with the cinema industry. We get a lot of films here for post-production facilities, whatever we have. And latest, we have made our DTS studio as an Atmos, Dolby Atmos mixing, which is one of the best studio I could say here in Bangalore in Karnataka, and it has been approved by the Dolby people. So we are happy with whatever work we are doing, and I am contented with the work whatever I am doing here sitting on my seat.
So this is the primary and first post-production work. Any picture, they will bring it on hard disk and then dump it on this machine. Okay. And editor will sit with the director. And more than necessary, they would have shot a film. So they will trim it and cut down the unnecessary points. Right. And then give only what is to be finished finally as a picture. Okay. And he is the senior most editor, which we can boast of. Karnataka can boast of that.
Alright, sir. Now where are we heading towards?
We are entering the sound mixing theatre, which is Dolby Atmos. This theatre is called Vaishnavi, named as Vaishnavi after the Gayatri Devi's name. This studio was designed by one Mr. Didier Weiss, a French designer from Pondicherry, who had also happened to design Mr. A.R. Rahman's studio in Chennai. This studio was ably designed also by Mr. Surya Narayan and Mr. Kishore, who were with the Dolby, so that the theatre first of all has to be designed for Dolby standards. But later on, recently, when Dolby people visited our studio, they were very much impressed about the layout and they suggested to go in for a Dolby Atmos latest mixed theatre. We have been equipped with the latest Dolby system, which our chief engineer Mr. Vasudevan will be able to explain to you.
Okay. Alright, so here we are at the Dolby Atmos stage. I've had the pleasure of working here multiple times, and I've had the opportunity to work with Vasu sir, who is one of the best engineers I can say here in Bangalore. He will take us through all the equipments here. Let's start off with the table, sir. So what exactly do we have here? If you can just explain it to the audience.
Hi Girish.
Yes.
Nice. We have 3 systems here.
Okay.
And this is RMU system.
Okay.
And this one is working system.
Okay.
and this one is dubbing. That means when we're working in Atmos, we have to mix down in 5.1. The 5.1 convention is done by that
Okay.
system. This is Avid S1.
Okay.
We have 3 Avid S1 and 1 Avid dock.
Okay.
The stage speakers are JBL,
JBL. Okay. Three-way speakers.
3-way speakers,
Okay.
and we have 3 amplifiers for every
Okay.
3 crossovers.
How many speakers are there, sir, in total?
Total 40 speakers.
40 speakers.
But that not means it's 40 output.
Right.
It's technically 128 channels output.
Okay.
It's mixed down into 40 and delivered by the 40
Okay.
speakers.
All right.
Begin the stage, we have 3 left, right, and center,
Okay.
and LFE separate.
Okay.
And we have surround speakers
Mhm.
and overhead, so we can hear the sounds in every individual speaker. And one more thing, all the speakers are full spectrums and full frequency deliverable.
Okay.
But in 5.1 it won't.
Your journey of how you started sound engineering.
Basically, I'm a musician, and I started my sound engineering past 15 years before, like a song mixing engineer. And once I came here, sir and ma'am gave me opportunity to film mixing opportunity. And my first film is Kanasimba Kudarineri. After that, I'm working here past 15 years. So many, more than 300 movies I did.
Wow.
7 films got best film in national award, which is Kanasimba Kudarineri, Vicharu, Kurma Avtara, Bahari, Haribu, Wang. These are national award films, and commercially hit Chandra, Operation Alamelama, Actor, Agada Kone, Love Mocktail 2, KTM. So many projects going on till now.
Right. In fact, I'm very fortunate to have worked with sir for 2 films and smaller projects also. And I must say, I've had an amazing experience here at Chamundeshware Studios, and the mix has translated really well on all the theaters that have been. Now that we have Dolby Atmos, so this is the future of sound, is what people are saying. So just wanted to know what is the difference between 5.1 and Dolby Atmos, and why directors and producers should opt for spatial audio or Dolby Atmos from 5.1.
The 5.1, it was to hear for 6 channels. And 6 channels in a surrounding. Now later on they try to improve it with whatever smallest possible sounds can be panned into more channels.
Right.
So slowly the Dolby have taken the pioneering step, and they developed this sound called immersive sound.
Right.
So in immersive sound, unlike 5.1 where the sound is surrounding you, in immersive sound it surrounds and then it dwell upon you.
Right.
Like that you are sitting in a well, and around you the sound travels.
As the name suggests, it's a very immersive experience.
It's an immersive in nature. That gives a very novel experience to the audience when played in the theatre.
Yeah.
So that is why the Dolby Atmos has got a more edge over 5.1 or 7.1. In fact, this is 9. Sound 9.1.
9.1.6.
This console is where you automate the volumes. So let's say the dialogue is actually prominent, so you decrease the volume of the instruments, and also you pan them on multiple speakers so that you have an immersive experience. So let's say if somebody is shouting from there, we can make that as an immersive experience for people listening in theaters. So the sound comes only from that speaker. So that is what this spatial audio, Dolby Atmos is.
Yeah.
Just to simplify things, but it is much more complicated than what I just said. Let's proceed to the machine room, and if you can explain a little.
This is part of our studio. This one is a Mac Tower, 128 GB RAM and M2 silicon chip, and it has 2 HDX Pro Tools card. This is Dolby section, Dolby MADI HDX effects.
Mac Mini, this is to separate.
Which is work on Dolby software. And this one is Dubber machine, Mac Studio, and it also 128 GB RAM and M3 silicon. This is part of all the system. Interfacer, Pro Tools Matrix 2, and fully loaded with MADI I/O and pristine 8-channel I/O, Thunderbolt I/O also. And this is Sync XD to sync all the system together. And this is RME Digifit AAS locked with Matrix and Dolby. And this is RME M32DA Pro 2. It's convert digital into analog. So all the sounds, all the outputs goes into this, and it converted analogically and sent to the amplifier. This is JBL 4-channel DSS series amplifier.
One thing is connected to four
4
speakers.
speakers, and this is 950
Okay.
latest Dolby processor. This is using theater. Once we have worked in Dolby Atmos, it is 128 channels.
Okay.
So we have to mix down into 5.1
Through 5.1.
through 950. Then only we get the right judgment. Otherwise, some issues are there in objects.
Okay. But this whole room has to be kept very cool, like
It's
because
very
this gets
hot.
very
Yeah.
heated up.
The amplifier is so hot.
Must have a very complicated routing system and all that. So this was
It's
done
very
through
much complicated.
Dolby Atmos themselves when they.
And completely digital.
And that's a wrap on the studio tour. It was amazing to check out the space and all the gear in action. What did you think of the setup? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this tour and want to see more such videos, behind the scenes content and music production tips, make sure you like, share and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.